Good evening, everyone. I am Sensei Kevlar. Let's look at some charts. Tonight we're going to start, by request, with Okcash. Okcash has certainly had a big run up. I'd come back here and I'd take a look at some of these historical... Here, we've definitely got a lot of historical resistance around the 9,000 Satoshi line here. 9,700 Satoshis. And we definitely have seen that again most recently here. Coming down, we've seen a lot of this right here, and it looks like we just broke through the support. I would definitely look for a return to this right here on the 1,800 line, 1,800 Satoshi line right here. Otherwise, we might see a spike off of a bounce off of that line right there at 3,120. Be pretty easy to plan your downside potential on this one if you wanted to establish one position right here in order to see if you could get lucky on this being a bull trap, because the bull steps into the trap and then the market takes off without him, or sorry, the bear trap, because the bear steps into this trap thinking that the market's going to go down, and then the market takes off without him, knowing that what in reality could very likely happen is the market could come down. We could see it come down to here, here, and here. These are your buy-in potential points. This is a double up, triple up, quadruple up line right here, and right here. And when it does that, and then it makes this trip back up here, you can be set up to take advantage of this by either scheduling your upside through a long-term selling strategy, a short-term selling strategy, a trophy strategy that only has you keeping what it is that you put. It only has you taking out what you put in initially and then keeping the coin and moving on. There's lots of different options for making money with a market like this, but you can definitely come on down and see the opportunity potential on this one. The only downside potential is you need to schedule for zero. Here's your zero right here in case the coin gets delisted, and this represents your final ditch effort in order to get into here and get out. After OKCoin, well, they threw a curveball at me here with Bitshares. Okay, I won't pet you. I recently heard that Bitshares was being delisted at Bittrex, which caused that volume spike right there. This one this one right here. This nasty little piece to head on out right here. And at the moment, if you were a bag holder from up here or from back up here, you potentially have a lot of downside potential that you are operating against. If you had planned and you were up here and you had planned your 1% allocation, you would have come back here and looked at this historical line and found this right here, and then you would have scheduled your downside for right there, right there, right there. Got one right there. Nice bounce right there. Coming up right there. And we can definitely see some more in here. And then we've got these nice spiky tops up here. I would say that this is a lot of buying to be doing unless you have a large portfolio. And if you took the hit on this one, this coin is probably going away from this exchange, and it may not ever come back on you. This is where having 1% of your portfolio allocated at this line right here, or this line right here, matters. That's why it matters. If you don't plan for this opportunity creation right here, and then realize that you could be in a 1% opportunity loss right here, you're not doing it right. You're going to end up being a bag holder. What you need to do is ensure that you're planning. This is an opportunity creation, and what could happen long term is this could come back again. So what I would do in a situation like this, rather than take the loss and just walk away from that, from just take the loss on my portfolio, I would consider this a long-term strategy. I'd take it off the exchange and I'd put it somewhere and I'd look into staking it. I'd look into if there was a way to mine it, if there was a way to do something else with it, if there was lending for it, if there was an opportunity to, hold on to it and then 6 months later come back to it. Maybe it's taken off again. Maybe it stays 2 years. Maybe it stays 6 years. Eventually, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to make all of your money on other markets, which is what you're focused on, or alternatively, you're going to stay focused on this thing and drive yourself nuts. I can tell you which one I would prefer to do. I'd prefer to just allocate my 1% at the bottom of the market right here and walk away from it, because that might be where it's headed. We don't know. It's definitely a tough spot, and planning would have kept you out of the pain. DCR, BTC. DCR, BTC. Definitely looking like a market middle on this one. You see a real nice downside potential on this one. Look, if you got into the market right here and it went down on you and you took too big of a position because you were just learning, take the hit, get out now, plan this downside potential. You're going to do a lot better off planning this downside potential instead of taking the hit against all of this motion right here. Get into a smaller position, sell off most of this, plan this opportunity right here. You don't know where this coin's going. It could go back to here. We could make a return to right here, and that would be great. And if you do, fine. But if you don't want to gamble, get out. Get out now. Assuming that you came in here. If you came in up here and you had too big of a position, planning would have saved you. If you came in here and you didn't get out here, you probably didn't have a plan for profitability. This is your opportunity right here to get out and establish one position on this line right here, come back down here, take your profit right here. Now we're coming back down. Let's take a look at a different trend line coming off of here. What I did is I took this and I touched these two tips right here, and I noticed that there's a trend line forming on the diagonal. Diagonal trend line could be respected, or it could come crashing through. This might give me more of an opportunity to tell which direction the market is going to go. If the market does one of these, I might be up for this potential right here. Could happen. Come back down, buy it all back again, having sold it all out here. Alternatively, the minute that I break this trend line, you might see some motion like this. It could come down again, or alternatively, it could snap back up to the trend line, which tells you that this trend line is being respected. This triangular motion right here against this trend line tells you that this trend line is being respected, and people like this motion, like this price, and want to activate their allocation at this price right here. Well, what's going on right here? Looks like we've got some historical lines right up that line right there, coming off of here, here, right here, right here. I'd say this is a pretty valid signal right here to let you know that this is a good entry point to get into here, recognizing that you really need to plan for all of this right here, just like Bitshares. Treat it the same way. Couple days on ADA. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to tell you on this, but I can probably guess what I can tell you. Yeah, here's what I can tell you on ADA. Buy one position. Doge. Now here is an interesting opportunity. Historically, we're up against a real bottom on our support lines. In the market, we're about as low as we can go against this particular market. Can we go lower than this? Absolutely. We can get traded against Litecoin. We can get traded against things that are less than Bitcoin and still have some liquidity in those markets. Historically, though, this market's been around for a long time. It's seen a lot of action. It's seen a lot of changes. It has an active development team. It has a fairly decent fundamental, analysis that you can apply to it and get some good results here. What happens is that when we get down to these levels right here, well, look at what happens. Normally when we're up here and we do this type of motion right here, well, that's a 13% motion from what is that? That's a 94 to 114. That's a 13% motion. Well, measure the same type of motion right here. That's a 59% motion. It's about the same range. But look at the difference in percentage. When you think in percentages, you realize that the lower these markets go, the more leverage that you have. If this thing goes from 25 to 50 satoshis like this right here, that's 100% opportunity right there that you just created for yourself. This is downside potential that you should be recognizing by now. Downside potential, upside profit opportunity. Downside potential, upside profit opportunity. Where are we right now? We're into a market middle. Is this our downside potential? You bet it is. Let's get in here and figure out, could we take one position here and double up right here on this line right here? Sure we could. Be easy enough. Double up again right here at 17. Triple up down here, at 5. 15, 5. I don't think it's going to go away. I'm not saying it's not. I can't predict the future. But I think it'll be okay. And I think that if you are smart, you can take advantage of the opportunities that are going to present themselves right inside of here, using something like the trophy strategy to get a number of free Doge at zero cost opportunity to yourself. And then later, when in 6 months, in a year, when Doge does this again, when it gets in its Lambo and goes to the moon, hey man, you're ready. You've been in the market. You've been sitting here allocating your Doge. Absolutely free. KMD, BTC. Oh yeah. We can see this one has a history. We definitely did come down here and find our most recent market bottom. Lots of interest came in after that, and we made this nice correction back down to this line right here. Came down in here and said, I like this price right here. I don't think I want to go lower. The market said, I like this price. This market went up for a reason. This was probably a little bit over-exaggerated, a little bit overinflated, and so we had to come back down again. And this was the reality of where we sat now. They like this price. They started buying at this price. Everybody started buying at this price. Enough so much that the market went up again. It went up again, and everybody sold. It went down again, and everybody bought. They sold. They bought. They sold. What is it time to do again? Do we put 100% of our portfolio into Comodo? No. Do we put 1% of our portfolio into Comodo? Well, not here. We schedule our opportunities such that we put 1% of our 1% of our portfolio into Comodo down here or down here, and walk away from it until it comes back on us and gives us this motion back again. Find your opportunities, create them for yourself. Make these market motions make you all the money. Pay. Man, do I love pay? Can I get enough pay? I like getting paid. Pay has paid out a number of times for me at this point. Recently, however, pay has been a little frigid. Now, if you're paying attention, to what pay has done in the past. It's come down to this line, come down to this line, come down to this line. Is this a perfect opportunity to have established one position and be doubling up, tripling up, quadrupling up right here on a return for this opportunity right here? Let's find out. There's a 15% opportunity right there that we could have created for ourselves if we had spent time in the market right here, planned to double up right here, and planned to double up right here. If we wanted more opportunity for ourselves, and we could have allocated our portfolio for the big fall all the way down into here, quadrupling up all the way down, tripling up. Let's start with a quadruple up and plan to double up down here. Plan to double up down here, plan to 3x up here. Any way that it works for us, that we can make ourselves the opportunity, that's what we should do. Plan the trade and trade the plan. Come in here, get on this buy order right here. Pay takes off on us. Now we're in the money. Come down into here, triple up right here. Pay goes in this direction. Now we're in the money. Comes down to here, takes off right here, triple up on this line, takes off, and we're in the money. We bought at the top of the market, we sold at the bottom of the market, and we made all of our money that way. Ripple, XRP, BTC. Oh, yes sir, yes sir. We like Ripple a lot. We like Ripple doing this to us all day long. This makes us money. Thank you very much. Coming down off of this line, giving us a nice solid buy off of that right there. Look at all the resistance that it found. If you had found resistance here and you had scheduled your downside for right here, there's your downside, there's your opportunity. Could have made it for yourself right there. Could have made yourself all the money if you had said, let me establish one position, and then it comes down here, or I'm sorry, you're here, let me establish one position, comes down here, quadruple up your order. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. Sorry about that. Old blind cat. Comes down, creates our opportunity, comes up, gives us the money. Comes down, create our opportunity, comes up, gives us the money. What could it do from here? Could it go up? Sure, certainly. Is now a good time to be getting into the market? I'd think twice about it. I think I'd wait until it came back down to here, or at least down to, I don't know, one of these lines right here looks pretty nice. I'd like that right there. I'd like to see a return to that, come off of that. That sets us up nicely for this motion right here. If it comes down into this motion right here, look how much money we could have made if we had been doubling up, tripling up, quadrupling up on our portfolio right here. Coming down into this, could have taken the money right here. Coming down into this, could have taken the money right here. Coming down into this, if you had scheduled, if you had prepared ahead of time, you could be making all your money right here. How much potential is that? We're just going to do a rough 68%. Because you scheduled it back here in July, that you knew that this was a reality and this really was going to happen to you, and you had better be prepared for it. And you better make all of your money right here. Siacoin, POT, P-O-T, BTC. Talk about a great opportunity that is. Let's come back and find our historicals right there. No cheating and looking ahead. Going to keep our eyes on the left-hand side of the chart. Come over here and touch the tops. Touch the skies with our fingertips. Touch our toes. Come on over here. Where are we at, guys? Well, I'd say we're in a perfect position. This is an ideal place to establish one position. Could it go down from here? Let's see where. I'd say right there is a good place to look for it to turn around. So's right there. Could we schedule more opportunity for creation for ourselves on this downside right here? Absolutely. Could we create opportunity for ourselves right here? Sure. All depends on how big your portfolio is and how much buying you want to do. You start with one position here, 3x, 4x, come on down, make yourself a lot of money that way. But if you start with too much up here, you start with a lot up here, you can't do the 3x here and the 4x here and the 5x here to get out. Instead, you got to work it backwards. You got to be, start out really big and then go, oh, I can only 3x here, and by here I'm 2xing, and now I've allocated myself way too heavy and I'm just losing all my money. I'm losing all my money. I'm losing all my purchasing power. By starting off more than one position, I'm losing all my purchasing power at the top of the market instead of saving it for the bottom of the market, where it really matters, where I really want all the purchasing power, because that's when it's going to come up again. That was POT, DGB, BTC. Such a fickle coin. Look at this thing coming on down. I think that a lot of what the motion that happens in this is tied to the full moon. Very werewolf, right? The reason for that is every full moon they give away DGB to Bitcoin holders. But guys, take a look at this. Take a look at this opportunity right here. Coming on down to this right here. Let's find one more bottom right there. Where's our zero line? Right there. Look at the downside potential. Ain't nothing we gotta do to make money on a market like this. You see volume coming up like this. The whales are coming into this market and they're allocating. They're going to make this market come down into here, move it around into here. You better be prepared for this motion. Better make your money when it comes and does this. Because later it'll do that. And that's where you'll make your money. Don't buy a bunch of coin right here. Buy a coin right here and there and there and there. That's how you'll make your money. Bay. Haven't heard of Bay in a minute. BitBay. Interesting. Look at what's happening with this right here. We're seeing a definite slope upward on that progression right here. A real turnaround from this right here. I think the market is more interested in this than people thought they were when this was happening right here. You're definitely seeing a lot of volume, a lot of good spiky volume, a lot of good heavy spikes on the candles. Let's look at a 6-hour chart though. Pull that out just a little bit more. You can kind of see the reality just a bit clearer. Let's come in here and we'll grab this tool, bring that over. This tool, bring that over. This tool, bring that over. I'm sure we could find a couple more in here. But I think we have what we need at this point, besides our market bottom and our zero line. There's our zero line. Can we find another one inside of this gap right here? Well, sure, right there. I think we have what we need to schedule our downside potential on this. We could wait for this to come down, get ourselves into a nice cozy one position. We could take one position right here, double up, triple up, quadruple up on this line. Whatever it is we want to do, we have to plan to be able to do it when we come down here and make ourselves profitable. There's no reason to do anything else when this will make us money. Strand. Oh yeah, look at that. Coming down off of this line right here. This is an interesting coin, isn't it? Some easy downside potential to schedule right here. Coming down off of this. Look for the sideways motion. The accumulation. The suppression. and then the takeoff. But be prepared that this is also a possibility. And if it is, you'd better make your money right here. Can we schedule for this? Can we plan for this? Easy. Once you know how to plan, planning becomes the only thing to do. Metal, BTC. Watch out, guys. This has got a lot of downside potential. You've got lots and lots of resistance points coming up, which became support coming down again, which could give you nice clean buys. Absolutely. In a market like this, easy to make money. It's also easy to lose it if you don't think that this could happen. And then where could we go from here? Well, let's take a closer look. There's our zero line right there. Let's come in and bring that zero line in and make sure that we are planning our zero line. Now it becomes a little bit clearer where we can go. What's our downside potential on this? Well, it's pretty significant. If we establish one position right now, could we see a return to here in a matter of days and make all of our money on this motion right here? Absolutely we could. In a matter of a couple more days, we could even see that. Followed by that. But you better be prepared to make your money on that. And on that. When that happens, you'd better make your money right there, cowboy. Otherwise, go to Vegas. Vegas is going to give you better odds than these markets will if you don't have a plan for it. GByte. GByte BTC, yeah, on Bittrex. Holy opportunity. Come in here, don't cheat now. Find that support and resistance. Let's see what we can do. Having done that, that tells us nothing. Congratulations. You're at a new market bottom. You don't see these very often. Do we love market bottoms? More than anything. Look at how symmetrical these lines have become. This market bottom right here is the same amount of percentage as this, same amount of percentage, about 30% right there off of that line. Coming close to 30%, a little bit more than 30%. Oh, what's this right here? That's 29% right there. 30% all day long. 30% all day long. I don't even have to guess anymore. It's 30%. 30%, 30%, 30%, 30%. Did we pull 30% off of this? Oh, we did. Right there. That's 30% right there. And look at where it paused. Look at where it paused right there. Let's zoom in on that. Pull that again. Look at where it paused. 30% right there. That's where it paused. Market went back up, came down. We are bouncing off of this line. Here's an opportunity. Especially if you were a holder up here, you could be doubling up, tripling up, quadrupling up. Be prepared though for what could happen next, which is this right here. And you want to make your money on that motion right there. Meow coin. It's not really a coin. Thank you. Yeah, holder coin, right? ETH, BTC, oldie but classy. Love this girl. Real market middle, but look at this. Look at the support tests of support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are coming real close to support right here. We're making this nice downward motion right here. Well, let's take a closer look at that. We don't seem to be able to get below this line right here. We're seeing an upward trend on this line right here. Maybe. It's very slight. But look at what just happened. Because I took these two trend lines and I plotted them into the future and to where they converged, I can see where this might take off, where this trend has to change. We're in this convergence trend where things are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Well, it just can't go sideways forever. It's got to do something. It's got to break above or below this trend right here. That could be a signal for us to let us know it's time to get into the market. But here's a good opportunity right here. ETC, BTC. Same thing. Looks the same to me. Looks like I was looking at a clone of Ethereum. One more, guys. Yeah, we'll do Vivix. I know that Vivix recently paid out. Yeah. It sure did. Let's see it. We were coming along in here when we had scheduled this whole downside all the way down to this line right here. Look at where we could have been if we had just accepted the market going down on us and bought our schedule. Could have come up, taken that money from us right there. Came back down, and we predicted what? That this could happen? Well, we absolutely wanted to buy back into the market right here, that's for sure. When it comes down on this line, off of this right here, here's the time to buy. Off of this line right here. Oops. Sorry, wrong line. Wrong line. Coming down off of that line right there. And look at what happened. If you had been brave, if you had put your order into the market on this line right here, on this line right here, look at what would have happened. Look at all the money you could have made, it coming shooting back up. What kind of opportunity could you have created for yourself off of that one? That's a 30% opportunity, upside potential. From the 18th to the 25th into the beginning of October. Could be making 30%. 30% on your money if you were buying correctly, so you lost nothing. If you bought too much up here, I don't know what to tell you. Alright, last one, guys. AEON BTC. I'm sorry if I skipped over any. We're out of time for the night. Well, look at you. Look at you. Come over here. Find your historicals. There's a word for what we're in right now. It's called free fall. We got nowhere to catch us. Nothing at all. Maybe a hint back here. No. Not really. I gotta say, I don't like catching falling knives. You don't want to try and time a market like this. You want to spend time in a market like this. Come down here, give it lots of good time to come down, make your buy opportunities for yourself, schedule this whole downside, and create this upside potential for yourself. And that is the way of the trader. On Friday, we're going to be digging into more indicators that are going to make us much more profitable using this strategy. Until then, I really do invite you to practice planning your trade and trading your plan. It's the only way to ensure that you're going to stay profitable long term. It's the only way to ensure that when the market goes away from you and takes this dip on you, you're going to make all your money on the upside when it moves up just a little bit. Thank you very much.